Let me be upfront with you. When you see videos like these from people online, it is from frugal penny pinchers that shame you for spending money. When the honest truth is that if they had money to begin with, they would buy the exact same things that they are telling you not to buy. Oh, don't spend $10 a day on lunch. Dumb. Anyways, I'm making this video because I spend more than a lot of teenagers out there. But on the same token, I also make more than 90% of teenagers as well. So when I tell you to avoid these things, it's not like I haven't ever purchased anything dumb. But to be honest, for a lot of these things, it doesn't even matter how much money you make. You can be making $50 a month or 50 grand a month. There are just some things that you should not buy no matter what. Now, to be fair, there are some things that, later in life, sure, you can go and buy. But when you're 16, 17, 18 years old, that is certainly not the time to be purchasing these kinds of things. So without further ado, the first thing to avoid buying in your teenage years is jewelry and chains. And listen, this is going to be controversial, I understand. But please realize that the second you go and buy a $300 chain, the value drops by 50%. Instantly. So please avoid jewelry and all that kind of stuff unless you're buying it for, your mom, your girlfriend, one of those kinds of situations. But if you are buying these for yourself, trust me, you are most likely going to lose a whole lot of money. Oh well, Eric, you said in your last video to buy a watch, and that's pretty much jewelry. A watch is very, very different than some fake gold chain that you blew a bunch of money on. Because first of all, most watches don't decrease in value 50% the second that you buy them. And the second part is that they provide way more value than a gold chain ever will. Watches show real status. When I see somebody walking around with a nice watch, I instantly respect them. But when I see somebody walking around with a big, heavy gold chain, it looks fake. And 98% of people will agree with me on that. So yes, I buy watches, but never in a million years will you catch me buying some diamond earrings, some fake gold chains, or any bullshit like that. Now, the next purchase to avoid at all costs in your teenage years is video games. And from the jump, I want to make it clear. If you play video games once, twice, 3 times a month, I don't really think that's a bad thing, right? You want to enjoy your life. But blowing hundreds of dollars a month on video games because, you want to get the new Fortnite Battle Pass or whatever it is, or you just spend hours and hours and hours every single day playing video games. In these years, you should be starting to build yourself up, right? And doing things that are going to make you a genuinely better person. And let me be real with you. Why in the world are you going to play a fake video game character where you are making a bunch of money, buying the cool cars, getting all the girls, all this stuff, right? You're gonna spend all the time doing that when you could quite literally spend the same amount of time accomplishing these types of things in your own life. So instead of building up a fake video game character, build yourself up in these years. Now, this next purchase is something that nearly 50% of teenagers are blowing their money on. And what I'm talking about is college. And I just made a video on this like a week ago. So I'm not going to go into a super detailed explanation about it. But let me break it down in like 30 seconds. Number 1, you spend 4 or 5 years learning outdated information from a college professor who's never even done what he's teaching you. And then number 2, it somehow doubly inflates. Every year there's more degrees, so the value of one goes down because more people have them. And somehow you are still paying more every single year. Nowhere else could you get away with doing this. And then on top of that, you're in crippling debt for the majority of your life because of this dumbass loan you took out. But that's all of that pretty much summed up in like 30 seconds. Like I said, I made a more detailed video on it, so when you're done with this one, you can watch it. I'm gonna pop up a card like right here or right there somewhere so that you can watch it. Now, the next purchase that I've seen numerous different teenagers make that is super detrimental in these years is either an expensive or super nice car. First of all, you probably don't even know how to drive. Oh, no, I know how to drive. No, you don't. I don't even know how to drive. Trust me, you don't. I know you think you do, but it takes years and years of experience to actually really know how to drive. So by that logic, chances are you're going to crash it. And then on top of that, nobody cares anyway. They just think, oh, cool car, and then they move on. And chances are, is most likely, you can't even afford it anyway. And listen, if it's your parents' sports car or whatever, fine, go drive it. I really don't care. But if it's coming out of your pocket, you're paying for it, right? Go and get a cheap car. Maybe a motorcycle, right? If you want to have fun. It's going to save you a bunch of money. I promise you. Now, the next purchase to avoid in your teenage years, and I'm really going to stress on this one, are these big, bold brands that everybody seems to be wearing. And I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. When you wear these big, bold brand names, you look stupid. And it usually tells other people one of two things. It either tells them that one, you're lower or middle class and you want to appear rich, or yes, you have a good amount of money, but you're not confident in yourself, so you feel like you have to wear these big, bold names so that other people know that you have money. And trust me, it looks stupid. So instead of buying some crap Gucci or Louis Vuitton t-shirt, spend way less money, buy some basic clothes, and get them tailored. I've talked about this in some of my previous videos. Trust me, you do not want to spend a bunch of money on expensive clothes when you're at this age, and especially not on these dumbass big brands. Now, the next purchase to avoid is junk food. And listen, I understand you're a teenager. Eat some junk food, enjoy your life, whatever. But don't go door dashing or ordering in pizza all the time, because I don't think you realize how fast this money will compound. Because what happens is, before you know it, you're spending $200, $300, $400 a month just on ordering in food or door dashing from Chick-fil-A, Starbucks, wherever. And like I said, yes, enjoy your life. But as I've mentioned before, if it's not in moderation, it's not going to work out. So if you order food in, once a month or whatever, fine, no problem. But when you do it 5 times a week, every single week, this is a mistake that you can't ever really get back. And it's something that I see so many teenagers do. On top of that, the biggest part of all of this is that it's not even healthy food. It's junk food. And even my generation just eats when they're bored, not when they're hungry, just when they're bored and they have nothing else to do, which is sometimes just absolutely bizarre to me. But my point being is, don't waste a bunch of money on junk food. It's not worth it. And the last purchase to avoid in your teenage years is something that so many different men and women both get trapped into, and it is endless mall shopping. Anytime somebody says to me, "Oh, you want to go shopping around town?" No, I don't. Because all you're doing is you're walking around the store all day, spending money on things that you don't even need. Because chances are is that if I did need it, I would have already had it, or I would just order it online. I'm not going to waste time and money shopping when everything is online now. And then of course there's, the people who are like, no, I'm a window shopper, I don't ever buy anything. Yeah, okay, and then you walk out of the store one day with $300 worth of clothes. When you're on vacation or going away or some big event is happening, I think it's a little bit of a different story, but just casual shopping is never worth it. So ladies and gentlemen, this was a great way to get you started with what purchases to avoid. But the next step is to know what purchases to actually make in these years. And look, I'm gonna pop up a video that I made just a few weeks ago describing exactly that. This video was great to start out, but this one will 10x your results.